where our creation story tells us it is. We didn't come from Adam and Eve, you know. Somebody else came from there, but not my people, you know. And we got to understand it. But we have to understand it in such a way as that people that believe that, that's good. Right? That's good, but that's not my belief. And if you believe in that, good. I respect that. But do you respect mine? And so it's not reciprocal.
But now, all these people are lost and they're coming back. The saddest part about our community was that I have a 80-year-old grandfather or uncle that never had a pipe, never knew what a pipe was. He didn't know any of his ceremonies. He didn't know, or uncle that never had a pipe, never knew what a pipe was. He didn't know any of his ceremonies. He didn't know any of his language because his parents was beaten out of them. So we have to learn our language. We have to learn about these ceremonies, because if we don't, our children are going to continue to be lost.
Ceremonies that have been forbidden for over a century are now being revived. For the people of the Central Plains, no ceremony is more sacred than the annual Sundance, held at the peak of the summer season, when the chokecherry bushes are ripe. Most Sundances take place over a 3 to 4 day period. During the hottest days of the summer, it begins with the building of the arbor in which the Sundance is held.
Pipe. Never knew what a pipe was. He didn't know any of his ceremonies. He didn't know. The best part about our community was that I have a 80-year-old grandfather or uncle that never had a pipe, never knew what a pipe was. He didn't know any of his ceremonies. He didn't know. What a pipe was. He didn't know any of his ceremonies. He didn't know any of his language because his parents was beaten out of them. So we have to learn our language. We have to learn about these ceremonies, because if we don't, our children are going to continue to be lost.
Ceremonies that have been forbidden for over a century are now being revived. For the people of the Central Plains, no ceremony is more sacred than the annual Sundance, held at the peak of the summer season, when the chokecherry bushes are ripe. Most Sundances take place over a 3 to 4 day period.
Symbolizes all of that we have nothing to give but our bodies. So that we put on the line. There's many things that they could be dancing for, and it symbolizes all of that we have nothing to give but our bodies. So that we put on the line in begging for life.
And it was just this rush of emotion that comes over you when you watch this, because it's so beautiful. What if you know the reasons behind it and you're not ignorant to that?
First Nations that were once lost are finding their strength and pride in their traditions and culture, and are going back to the ways of the ancestors. The revival of ceremonies is helping to restore our strength as a people.
And part of the Sundance and many other ceremonies much like it are starting to bring the people back to the creation. They're bringing that understanding, they're bringing the spirit back. And the spirit is the one that's connected to all things. And by having a better understanding of that, then our lives get stronger. You'll find it in places like this, in the Sweat Lodge, in the Midday ceremony, other kind of traditional ceremonies. There's something there that'll affect your heart. And when that happens, you want to pursue that.
I remember from way back when I first attended the ceremony with my grandfather, I sought the ways of our people, because I know that by attending that ceremony way back with my grandfather when I was about 4, I remembered that You know, we have a rich history, we have a rich culture. And I always remember that I told myself, someday I'm gonna grow up and someday I'm gonna be out of here and I'll be out there in the real world and I'll go find what it is that I need.
By just observing it, not having to be a Sundancer, but just to watch it is enough to turn you around, you know, to make you know there's something more there.
Sometimes we don't see it right away, but we know that as we go through life and you take a look back, you know that all those things that you've gone through give you the strength, but the ceremonies make you proud of who you are.
Start letting it down, slow. It's something that I think all four colors of man, we believe, have to come together to save the earth for our future generations. And they're all invited here to witness this so they can determine for themselves what's real and what's not, and this is so real.
And that's what we're passing on to the youth by showing them that.
To a lot of people is by documenting this, and this is what I do it for, is for the future generations.
I think it's the best way because we have to use whatever's out there. You know, if our ancestors had that, I'm sure they would use it. If the youth can come to the ceremonies, might as well bring the ceremonies to them, you know, using technology. And I think that's the best way that we can do it.
It needs to be shared. And I know a lot of people out there that are going to be affected by this film, because there's a lot of youth out there that is lost because they're stuck in a place where they can't go anywhere and they don't have people there to show them the right way. So by this footage, it will give them a different point of view on things.
There's a great need for it. We have to be able to use mass media. I mean, that's what time it is. You know, I mean, if there's a lot of kids who are, a lot of people I know from this community who don't have the money to get to Sundance. They don't have the money to get to Midewins. A lot of children whose maybe even families won't allow them to go. Maybe they'll go to school, maybe they'll go somewhere and they'll see these films. They'll see these videos. Maybe that'll get them there. If it gets one of them there, then it's worth it.
Today, more and more young